So we know the cable from here to there works. It should not be connected to anything. It should be just a simple link. Installation resistance test. To start with, just to get the feel for it, I always go to 50. We don't know. Maybe this is going through a bedroom of some sort, but the resistance was very small, so I believe this was redone at some point. 250 volts, earth to live. Bad reading. Fault finding. The client have had an electrician who came attend this property, but could not figure out exactly what the problem is. But they've isolated several cables between these switches, got a power back on to the essentials, such as the boiler, this socket, and also the load side on the extractor fan, which is right in there. The fan isn't working, the boiler is working, that socket is working, but what we do have, which is strange, we've got that, and I'm not sure if that would have been live or not. I know there used to be a boiler in here. I only assume that the boiler has been moved to another location. No problem with that whatsoever. We've got a new flex, which will be a load side, and we've got black and red, which are the supply. What it is weird is that I've got two cables here, two cables there, and only one here. That would mean that this might be a spur. So I wonder if this with that is a continuity. Because if it's a ring, what I should do is, the moment I open this up, and with that, there should be a ring. And that's where it was disconnected. I don't know that right now yet, but let's remove the tape and find out.
A few moments later.
Okay, yeah, dedicated circuit. What I was looking here, just in case, maybe if that cable is coming from here, but I am not seeing it. No, if anything, I can see that cable get scraped on the bottom of it. So we just slightly pray that bugger up. Feels a bit loose. I'm gonna isolate and give this another screw. Yeah, quarter of a turn. That's the problem with these isolation. Let's put this back on. There's nothing for us to do in here. What we're going to do first is get the tester, check if we get any continuity. That one goes into the green one, that one goes into the red one for continuity. Firstly, let's remove the resistance of these cables. Well, I'm not sure if you see that, but these super expensive MFT-X1 come with a design flaw of some sort because the battery gets detached. There's a message here. Maybe it will come up today, I'll show it to you. So it still remembers 0.20 ohm. I'm going to cancel that. Clip them together. 0.13. Cool. Now the leads live, and we put the audio feedback as well. So live to 0.04. So that means from here to here is the same cable. Cool, no problem. Well, rewire that, that wouldn't be a problem. Neutral should be exactly the same. Yeah, 0.03. The earth will be 1.67 times higher. Look at this earth, it's nice and copper, like shiny copper. Look at this, not shiny. Yeah, that's fine. So we know the cable from here to there works. It should not be connected to anything. It should be just a simple link. Installation resistance test. To start with, just to get the feel for it, I always go to 50. We don't know. Maybe this is going through a bedroom of some sort, but the resistance was very small. So I believe this was redone at some point. 250 volts, earth to live. Bad reading. Better reading, acceptable because it's 2 mega ohms, still bad. Let's see if we're gonna have the same, just out of curiosity. Live to neutral from that end, well, it should be the same, 2.43. Let's see if we're gonna get close to this reading. Yes, we are. Okay, let's swap it over and test. Yep, we're actually getting the same readings. Cool, so at least there's some consistency. So this is an old installation, original to the property. That cable comes from the top. So, yeah, well, the chimney was always here. The kitchen was remodeled. These cables, instead of coming from the top, they are actually coming from the horizontally. So my next point of call is, there's also a lot of rust, so it must be a damp present within the wall. One more mystery to discover is, if we go to continuity with audio feedback, when we touch these two, it gives us the audio. So let's see if this is spurred. I think it is. 0.07. So that resistance between earth here is lower than that one, because that one's 0.10. Let's try this one. Yep, I'm pretty sure by now. There's a junction box somewhere. See, the resistance from here to there, it was 0.3, 0.4, 0.04, and that one here is much, much higher. Okay, ladies and gents, we've got a junction box somewhere that is going really bad. That's all there is, as simple as that. I am just going to isolate the power and test end to end here, just to make sure we got a ring. Let's go turn the power off. I can spend time looking for this problem and the junction box that is here. I can see the pipes, so this is a gas pipe. Assuming that I can safely just chase horizontally and rejoin all the sockets, that would just make complete sense, rather than to find that junction box, because the junction box could be anywhere here. There was definitely some work happening in here. Sometimes you can tell when the plaster was really, really bad. Slightly different from all the other spots, and that's where the junction box might be hidden. I would suggest if we just test the end-to-end ring to make sure that the ring is still a ring, because if the extension has been done by someone bad, we might not need to fix the ring because there's no ring. So let's do that in the first place. I'm going to ask the client for turning the power off and test it. That's what I need. Hey miss, it's okay to turn the power off?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, sockets here, downstairs. My best guess. Yep.
Nice.
Let's see if this is the actual ring end to end. And I'll show you how I'm going to do it quickly without even unscrewing these cables from where they are right now. Remove the crocodile clips. You know where I'm going with this now. There we are. Let's check if we are within the tolerance. .08. Cool. I'll remove my link. I'll remove the fridge for now. Put this in. Let's test the earth first. 1.5. Nice. Let's test the life. 95. Let's test the neutral. 97. Okay, so yes, we have a ring. That's a good info for my clients. When you're doing a fault finding, when you come to this conclusion, we've got two cables here, so it's a ring in, ring out. Two cables, ring in, ring out. One cable for the extractor fan, which is in the chimney. It's obviously spurred from the ring, but we don't have that access to that cable. We can also tell there's a massive damp in the walls. This back box is almost eaten away. That lag on this side is going to give up anytime soon. Replacing the back box would definitely make sense. These both lags on each side are not as bad. Could potentially leave that in place. Definitely rewire between these 3 points. Extend the ring or spur from this socket into that ring, and then we have access to all of the cable. It's just the cable from this socket to that one that needs to be replaced, and a new cable from this socket over to chimney. Let's do the insulation resistance on the extractor just to make sure that this is actually fine. This is almost like a pad testing. Insulation resistance 250, both neutral and live to earth for safety. We're just testing. Yeah, perfect. That's absolutely fine. Right, let me speak to the client and I give her an options.
A few moments later.
Okay, let's double check if everything is on. Put everything on, switch on, in. Let's go into the voltage test. We will try blue one. Blue one will be neutral to yellow. Okay. We do have 236. We do have voltage. Unfortunately, the fan has packed up. Fan is gone. How about these LED lights? The ceiling is actually sticky wet. Is definitely any issue with the damp? Well, it's nicely connected. Cables comes out of the fitting. We can't really change the light bulb. On this fitting is just actual the light itself. All I can recommend this client is that the spotlights will be replaced. Well, all of these 5 spotlights. Quite tiny and small hole. I can see inside like an extractor fan cable. I'm gonna call customer, let them know what's the deal with this stuff. I wanted to double check the light bulbs, the GU10s. That's what I was hoping it's here. But that's the modules. It's gone. Yeah, they don't make anything to last these days at all. Okay, we have a plan for the bathroom. Spotlights replacement, extractor fan replacement, because spotlights, they're just gone. That's it. We need to get a new one. We've got ring reinstated. I've put the cable in. I've clipped it using the banding. It just stays in. And here we go all the way around here. You might see I put some filler. This is that white, fluffy one-strike filler. Dries in 30 minutes. Apparently 30 minutes, we'll see. I didn't have a lot, but I've put it around the socket so the sockets can be screwed back on, because that's quite difficult to just do around when a socket is back on, and the rest of it will be done by a client or a client's decorator. But there he is. Safe zones as much as this could be done at 3 different levels, as you could see. So we kept the horizontal lines, and then once we came to the corner, we've got 150 on each side of the corner to run cables within safe zones. Cool, I go off to other task now. See you in the next one.